Hey guys, in this video we're just gonna go over the plugin created for Caido, the proxy tool for web testing and mobile and anything involving proxy. So if you come, so now that it's officially released, here's like a small video. So simply you can just come to here to plugins, community, and it'll be down here at the bottom. And the latest version of this video is 1.06. So after you hit install it, or if you have it installed from previous version, you just click update. So the first thing I'll be greeted with once you install it is the home, or like it's going to say like payloads, categories. You're gonna like a search bar filter here, and it's going to search anything you have that's on your home screen for your plugin. And all features are going to be based on your install, not on anybody else's. So all your stuff is going to be saved specifically to you, which is good. So let's kick off. What is the kind of like the overview of this? Well, so you know how you can easily save files, like certain like payloads and stuff like that. Well, I thought about just creating a public place you can just create your own or get other things that are on GitHub that are like stored on a public domain like GitHub. So as of 1.06, the only possible way to get these is through GitHub, and it's a public repository. And it's not on GitLab or any other hosting, at least for right now. So it's only allowing GitHub. In the future, I might change that, but we'll see if I see a use for that. But see that the default is payload other things, which has been a well-known hacker payload. Hackers repository for like various other types of vulnerability testings. You go see it has all of it, says like API key leaks to or the zip file. You come here to API keys, it shows like the markdown, and it's editable. You can highlight all of it, highlight what you need from it, or you can simply just click copy, and it'll copy the whole window, whatever's in that window. I'm gonna say add to collections, put a tag for it so you can make your own tags, which we'll get into. Same with collections. And you can favorite them as well, so you can easily show favoriting. So it says at the favorites, so if you come here, little icon that says star, we'll say the repo that was from, and file, basically the file information where it's located. Let's say like ISS machine key.md. You can add notes, so you could put blah data, blah, blah, I guess. It'll save it, so you can see there's like a mini note here. So like if it was like something like say like a SQL injection favorite, you can say SQL injection. Say like for example, say like you had a specific favorite that you only use for like Epic Games, or you're testing Kubernetes or anything like that on like Microsoft's product, Azure, or on mobile. You have certain payloads you use. You can put here in the notes. It's like, hey, this is only for mobiles on this target or this domain, whatever you want. And this will save if you like have a tag. So as soon as you come here to your favorites, it says import or export. So you can export the selected. So you say, so as soon as you highlight the one, you can either say send to automate, which is like your automation tab. It will automatically just go into your clipboard through simple list, which you can just copy and paste it through your whatever platform you're on. On Windows, it's like Control V, that's a shortcut for it. And on Mac, use the same scenario for Mac. So then the next thing you can do is obviously export. So it says export favorite, and use JSON. That's the default I use for it, JSON. And you can name it whatever you want. You can say, it's going to default to say repo favorites and a random number string. You can put whatever you want for it. So you can put Microsoft payload favorites and put the date if you want. As long as the extension for the file type is JSON, it'll accept a name, I'm pretty sure. So if you export this, you can just put 60, and this will work as well if you don't have anything. So this was kind of like a collaboration type of feature added in. So say like you have a friend that has like a secret payloads, or like he has the payloads he has, and you don't want to find it, search for it, you can just say, simply tell them, hey, do you have like repo favorites 5,000? And he'll send you that through a JSON format file, and then bam. And you can see that it saved the note, it saved all the context of it. So it's really a very simple. I tried to make it like an easy kind of like add collaborative features, because originally I was just going to have it be isolated, but just to make it more friendly to people that maybe want to share things and keep things. And you can do this by scratch. I haven't done that, but since it's JSON, I can assume you can easily just create from scratch if you want, if you don't want to just use the button to click it. So the next thing is collections. So to clear a collection, you come into your kind of like settings home. So the first thing you're going to see in your settings is add a new repository, which adds a GitHub repo URL to browse payload files. So as long as it's hosted on GitHub and it's public, it will grab it no matter what type of repo it is. As long as it's public and it's accessible and it is existing on GitHub, it will be allowed into your repository, which we'll get into the GitHub part later on. We see the default is payloads, other things, and you can switch whichever default. Like say you had like 15 repositories in your repository home, you can like switch them whichever the default is when you like load it up and everything. So here, the next section is tagging. So you can add tags. So if you want to create whatever it is zip file payloads. You can change the color too. It's random. It's a color. It's not like it's a color selector. It's not through hex. You can just simply just drag the color to whatever you want. Just try to do a different color. It's not the same. Yeah. Let's just do this. Great. You can see it used that color. You select it in the zip name, and you could put a note as well if you so choose, but as long as you put something like a good name for it, it should be fine. Now you could put a descriptor for the tag if you want, for whatever reason. And you can easily delete all your tags and everything. You can filter by tags as well. See here, so if you added that tag, added whatever, it will be here. You just have to probably have to scroll, it depends how many tags you have. Or you can do all tags filtering. And by default, none of these will be, nothing will show up. If you like click like say example access, nothing will be shown here. That's because you have to assign it first before you can do that. So that's the simplest. So that's just kind of like all really for tagging. The collections is the more interesting part I added. So you can put whatever you want. It's kind of, collections is kind of like a, if you have multiple favorites, so you can just simply keep everything there, and you can put descriptions of what the collection is used for. So it could be tests for XSS payloads. I cannot freaking type. You see, it says following goes test for XSS payloads. You view it, there's nothing here. And once you view any collection, you can see you can import, export all, save as a host file. Validate is for validating that it's a actual file on GitHub. So do that. You can edit descriptions, you can export all, you can copy all. So I'll just do this right now and just try to search for XSS. Let's search for XSS. XSS. No XSS. Oh, because I've filtered. Oh, that's why. XSS. So as soon as you do that, there's like a select button, so you can mass select stuff. Select all here. See all these like XSS stuff. XSS. All these 12. Add to Mongo's. Added. And then you come to your collections. And that is empty for some reason. Check. Have to. Probably bug. Really kidding. That's probably a weird bug. But let's try adding something else. Come down here to a text file. So you can see, well, that's something else I'll show. So you see we added those two. You can put a select all. You can save as a host file. So you can say select as a host file. And it'll save as a text file on your home, wherever you save it to. The reason I did that is so you can easily save files and everything. So you can, so if you don't want to just copy and paste them or send them to automate whatever, you can save them into your files here, your file locations on Caido. You can upload them. So if you saved it as a text file, you can click here and be on inside your Caido. So let's go over something so you can do with collections. So you see copy all selected. What does that do? You see it says copies 200 payloads to clipboard. So basically all it did is it copied all the payloads that are all the contents of the selected files. So you can see, we come here, I just have a random request from Force Witner. So you can just put, what that did is it copied all the contents of both of those favorites from the collections that we created, and it's in here inside your simple list and automation. So as of right now, I couldn't figure out a way to via drop down to like, hey, use collection Mongo's test for XSS. I couldn't. This was the only workaround I found when I created this, but so that was the easiest way I could do that, was through copy to clipboard. And there's another button here they can do as simplest. No, says it does the same thing. So in case the copy clipboard doesn't work for whatever reason, you can do that as well. All their copying is through simplest or through clipboard. And you could do the same thing we did with favorites. Save as a host file. You can name it whatever you want, as long as it's with the right extension. So that's the main parts. So there's only 2 things left. Well, there's 3 really. You can see that this little like 3 here. What is that for? Well, to help with, so for GitHub specifically, without using a API key, you're rate limited. So that last time I checked, that's about 60 requests an hour until they'll just block your requests. No matter if you use a different IP, I'm not too sure about different IP, but at least the IP you're sending the request from, it will like block it and say unauthorized, and it'll like just won't allow you to grab any data from the API, which hosts all the repo data if that is submitted on their platform. So the way I did it was, so if you click, so what this does, it just grabs all the data again. That's how it's grabbing all of the repo information. It's grabbing it in real time as soon as you like add it or grab it or add the repository. So for example, see this README? That's 4, and then you hit it again, it's 4. I put a caching algorithm inside, so it doesn't send the request again if it's already the same file you already read. So it doesn't, so it'll prevent having you getting any of unauthorized requests or rate limiting issues like a 429. So action log, what is that? Well, action log is, it just says things that are, so basically what this does, it just shows you logs, anything you added, created, and you basically any action you do inside of RepoExplorer, it will grab it, including errors, or if it's successfully copied, removed. See it's like tag removed, and it'll give you a pretty detailed description of what action was taken, and it does that with all of them. So to see the recent files, so this will show you any recent files you looked at, and for some reason that doesn't work. Don't know why. Might be a bug. Yeah, that might be a bug. That's probably a bug I gotta fix in the next edition. But to the last feature in this plugin is this GitHub repo. So this is so instead of just like opening up your browser and just finding the repo, going through Google searching and looking for it, you can use a search bar. So say if you want to use seclist, for example. No, seclists, let's just say fuzzing. We'll just say fuzz. Search in GitHub. And you can see here it grabbed any GitHub that's either titled as for fuzzing or has anything about fuzzing. See, it says, and it categorizes them from top to bottom based on looks like popularity. You see seclists, the user seclists, you see, so it'll grab tools as well, but it just looks for anything with the term you search, the term you put into the search bar, and you filter them like 25 results, 50, 100, what have you. It'll give you short descriptions of what each are. So this would kind of be cautious of what you add, because who knows what some of these payloads have in them. Just trust as soon as the repos you add that it's trustworthy. So just for example, we'll just add seclist. Why not? So what does that do? So then all you have to do is, it will be here in the search bar, this drop down here, and you can put seclist. Oh, seclist. And we'll see it has AI, LM testing, everything that's on part of the repo, including MD files, text files, anything like that. That's part of the, so you can see all this. The only disadvantage I found with this is that if you're trying to load these to view the contents, it will take forever or it might crash or it might not load it. So you can just, the easiest way I found is just copy it, copy all the contents, or export it your favorites, do everything except for viewing, because viewing, especially like massive files with lots of like new lines and stuff like secless, is, I couldn't find a workaround for that. So that's kind of thing I figured out. So there's some limitations with this. Those are the kind of limitations for sure. So that's pretty much the overview of payloads, all the things. And just to say, for example, you have that added. So it's like, hey, I want to set this as default. You could click this button here. It's active. You can switch. Okay, that's the active one. It's default one. So as soon as you come back and do that, you could even get rid of that one if you want. It's like, hey, that's the default one. Do that. Yeah. Just the default. So that's all the overview. I know it's a long video. It's probably a lot of rambling, but I wanted to flush out my first plugin on Caido, and any feedback or any bugs you find, you can just let me know. And any of the socials I'll link in the description.